The Fox is back up on the stands. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Fox Chamber. As you know, I'm still getting a grinding in my transmission, and as you can see, we're getting ready to take this thing out for a fourth time. But what I got this time, I got a 5th gear synchro that I'm gonna install because my buddy Mike, he made a comment that it's the synchro, and I was hoping that he was wrong because I did not want to take this thing out again. But it's got to be the synchro. I'm gonna go with that. Put that new synchro in, but I'm not gonna show the taking out of the transmission, the exhaust, the drive shaft, all that good stuff. Y'all seen that before, so I'm just gonna get back with you when I get everything out, and we can continue on from there. But first, before I get it started, I want to show you what I got. Eventually, I'll get my workbench over here so I can have something to set this stuff on instead of setting it on the floor all the time. But this is what I got. Got a new 5th gear synchro. I got a clutch cable adjuster, and actually a new clutch cable, because the other one, from what I was told, is a little stretched. So we're gonna replace that also. Got the adjuster, and we're gonna put that 5th gear synchro in. Like I said, we'll get back to you after I get all that stuff snatched out and we get ready to tear into this transmission. But cause yeah, this time I'm gonna do it myself, since it's only the tail end that has to come off. So I decided I'll go ahead and try to do it myself. A little content, you know, always need it. Get back with you in a little bit. All right, transmission's out. Now, as I got it secured to my workbench. See, you got some straps holding it down where it's nice and secure, where it's not going to go anywhere, because we're going to be jerking on this thing just a little bit, if anything, just to break this this RTV loose to get this tail section off. The first thing we got to do is knock this little pin right here. We got to knock it down inside. It's not going to come completely out, but we got to knock it till it gets out of the way. We're going to take this tail shaft completely off. Let me get you set up on my tripod. That, for right now, is my tripod. Let me see. Let me see if I can have it where you can see me drive out that little pin right there. Okay, I drove the pin all the way down to the bottom, and you'll be able to tell when it hits the bottom because it'll make like a thud kind of a sound. But now it's all the way to the bottom. It's not going to come all the way out until you take out this center section here. So from where we're at now, I'm going to take the bolts loose to the tail end. As you can see, I took out all the bolts all the way around, on the bottom, everything else. Now we gotta jar this tail shaft or tail end loose so we can slide it out. What you want to do is want to give it a couple of good whacks on this end down here. Just to jar it loose. You can see it's starting to loosen up a little bit. Whoop. Not all of the oil is out there yet. little spill. Whereas we got it contained. Now, to get this out, I've got to hold on to this piece right here and slide the whole thing out. Okay, as you can see, I slid it out all the way to where, see, that's that hole that pin was in. So what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to try to see if I can grab this and take it off, and the spring and the ball up under this is gonna come out, and I'll show you that in just a second. All right, see, I slid this out. There's a spring in that hole right there. And there's the pin we knocked out. And right down, in this right here, the spring sits on that. It sits right on top of this ball. And that's what you do not want to lose. Because I don't even know if it's possible to get another one of these things, because I have no idea what the size of it is. So you definitely don't want to lose that. So we'll just put all this in a secure spot right over here. And I'll put the ball right there in that little knot. Keep all that right there where you won't lose it. And of course, the pin. So y'all remind me of, well, where that's at, because I'll end up forgetting. All right. Now we're getting down to the meat and potatoes of this thing. All right. Now that all that's off, what you had to do was tap out this pin right here, which I just did. I just wanted to make sure I show you that. But you got to tap this pin out. And to keep from bending this shaft, I put 2x4s. I put a 2x4 up under here to help support it. You know, as you're tapping on that, you do not want to bend this shaft. So we put a 2x4 up under there, tap the pan out. So now the pan is out and this is ready to come out. But before you pull that hub and fork off, you got to pull out this clip. And it's off. Set you right there. Now all the hub and the fork is ready to slide off. See the problem already. You put the transmission back together. I'm missing the doggone synchro keys. Missing 2 of them. There's the hub and the fork. Yeah, I mean, that's some of my problem right there. I'm missing 2 of the doggone synchro keys. So as you can see, the problems that I'm starting to run into already. You know, I'm missing the synchro keys. This is the only one that I had. And I believe this is the ring that holds it in. And because you can see the other one is in there toward the back of this gear right here. But I only had one of these and I found this and it's bent. So I don't know if it got sucked back up into this half of the transmission or this half of the transmission case or not. So I'm gonna have to take the top off and just to make sure it's not in there bouncing around. So I'll take all of the bolts on top loose, and I found out it is a 10 millimeter, I think. Yeah, 10 millimeter. So we're gonna take the top half of the transmission off and see if we can find those other keys, if they're inside the transmission or they just were not installed altogether. We'll get back with you in a minute. As y'all can see, messing with a T5, it ain't easy. At least for me, it ain't. You know, only thing I want to do was just replace this. That's it. That's all I wanted to do. You know, just take off the reverse in fifth gear, replace the syncro, and be done. Now I see that we're missing those keys. Now I got to take this off to make sure that's not inside the transmission. You know, this stuff builds up. You know, that's what you got to deal with if you're talking about restoring something. So yeah, I ain't mad at it, but it's just something we got to do. So let's get this lid off and see if we can find them pieces, if it was installed at all. First things first, from what I saw on Junkyard Dogs, you have to take this off and remove it. You have to tap on this and hit it that way so that this thing will pop off, because that's the way it's supposed to come off. So let's get the tapping. Oh, let me put y'all down before I cause a catastrophe up in here, and I'll get back with you when I get that loose and take it off. Yeah, got it off. Well, I see why you got to slide it to the, let me see, where am I at? To the right, if you're actually looking at the transmission perspective, because it's got to slide into this right here. So it has to slide up and out. Oh, let's fish around in there and see if I can find anything. They are steel, so a magnet will pull them out of there. So let me get my magnet and get to fishing around. Get back with you in a minute. Well, look at what I fished out of the main crankcase. There are my two doggone syncro keys. Somehow they made their way back up into the main section. And there they are. So I believe that might have been what has been causing the grinding. Let me see if we can get these things put back in, because it might not have been the syncro, but since I got it, we're gonna make a new one. We're gonna put it on there. Yeah, that's both of them. I'm missing two. I found two. Found out I was missing the reverse gear synchro. So the kit that I ordered from LMR didn't have one in there, because it might have been the non-world class T5 kit. So I got my old reverse synchro that came off the other one because I didn't have any problem with that. And we're gonna put it back on, so we'll have a synchro on there, because that might have been why those synchro keys fell off in the first place, because the reverse gear synchro wasn't in there, because they go into the same hub housing. So let me get ready and start putting this thing back together again. As you can see, I found my keys. I got them in. I got my little spring clip. I got it in. And what I did, I should have filmed a little bit of it, but before I put the clip in there, I slid all the keys in there, and then I slid the C clip in there, and then I started with this one, with the one that had the little hook on the end of the little clip. I went this way on this side, and I went the opposite way on the other side. I think that's I believe that's how it goes in there, because if I didn't, that right there sit kind of crooked. So
Now we got to get this thing back on the transmission. Now that I got the hub and everything ready to go. You see I got the hub in place. I got the new syncro on the back. And you got to put all this on there, this rod, the hub, the fork and everything. You got to kind of slide it on there at the same time. Tap this, where it slides all the way in, and that'll be good. All right, I was able to orientate it to where the hole is all lined up. So now we just got to drive the pin in, and same thing goes for taking it out as driving it in. Make sure you put your blocks up under there to help put your blocks up under there, help support it to keep this shaft from getting bent. Got them in there nice and flush. Didn't come out the bottom. So we got our hub back in. New syncro, 5th gear syncro. Got the rear syncro put in. Oil. We got our clip on. And our pin has been driven in. All right, let me check and see what I got to do next and get back with you in just a second. Well, the next thing that's on the agenda is cleaning this thing up, getting ready to put some RTV on it and closing this thing up, putting fluid in it. So let me get it cleaned up. I know you don't want to see none of that, but let me get it cleaned up and I get back with you. Got all the surfaces cleaned up all around there, wiped all the grease and everything like that on there. So now it's ready for the RTV. And all my surfaces all nice and clean. So, as I said, with the top portion, you have to go on sideways because you have to get up under this clip right here. And I'm gonna try to show you what I'm talking about. There, running a nice little bead. I can do this with one hand. A nice bead of RTV all around the edge. I'll show you what I was talking about when I said you had to come on from the right side and slide it over. One thing you want to do is make sure these forks line up with that slot and that slot in your gears. That's where they're supposed to line up at. Well, you see we got the top on, and I went ahead and put silicone all around the outside of this one. With these two top bolts right here, you know, you usually go to the inside putting the silicone on. On these upper ones, I reminded myself that you got to go around the outside of these because these go into the main case, the top two. They go inside the main case, so you got to make sure you go around the outside of these bolts, just so it won't have a leak on it. Well, let's try to get this thing mounted up. As you can see, I got finally finagled that thing on there. Got it to sit, all bolted up. So it is ready to go back in. Yeah, but first I gotta drop the oil pan, at least the back part of the oil pan, reseal around there, because I think I got a slight oil leak right there. And then slap this transmission back in, and then we're gonna see if that fixed the problem, which I almost 100% know that was it. So get back with you. Well, looking outside, probably tomorrow. See ya. Okay, now comes the moment of truth. As you can see, it's back on the ground. Exhaust installed. Full of oil, transmission fluid, radiator fluid. It's good to go. Everything's on, so let me get you set up and then we're gonna go for a ride. All right, here we go. First ride after everything's back in. Let's see if we got any grinding. First attempt to go into 5th gear. Success. Yes. Did not grind. We're gonna get on the highway and try a couple more times. First attempt, no grind. Definitely happy about that. It's done. It is done. And actually the clutch cable and everything I put in, it's pretty much just where I wanted it. Man. And how long has it been? Was it 2-3 months? Finally. Oh yeah, your boy's amped up. Let me turn around. Mike, you were right, bud. Transmission's finally done. I gotta put all the other stuff back in. But yeah, when I get this thing put back together, I'm definitely going for a ride. You could tell I'm definitely in a good mood right now. I know it's been at least a couple of months that I've been dealing with this thing. Taking it out, putting it back in. Finally, it's done. But as you can see, I got a lot of crap I got to put back together. So I'm gonna go ahead and start that, and then I'll get back with you in a little bit. But this is about the end of the video. So I appreciate y'all watching this video, and hopefully you watched it through the whole thing. I know it's long.
That's what she said.
That's my joke. Damn it, Dwight.
But it helps if y'all watch the whole thing. So if you like this, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notifications bell so you can get that fresh stuff when it comes out, and we'll see you later.